away. Like, for instance, with Audrey, even though I saw her sinking and her hands tied in water, I was questioning it because it wasn't coming in the reading. So now I'm going to be taking my random visions more seriously. Road. I thought I found it, but they searched and it's not it, or they didn't find him, unless that's an area that I don't know. But the crossroads, one road goes one way, one goes another, and then the one that I keep seeing loops around. So that's interesting. Frozen, because if you guys have had any snow out there or whatever, he would have been frozen for a period of time, especially if he was covered in water at that point in time. Which wintertime, you guys have rain, you have snow, so it's the water level is rising. You see what I mean? Um, and also the road's significant. Okay. A lot of the bodies are found near roads, but in this one, I keep looking off like closer to roads because that's what it feels like. I did kind of the same thing with Madeline Soto when I was looking for her on my own. I kept looking for woods off the side of the road because that's what I felt. So road seems to be significant here because we have the crossroad and we have the road, and it's almost like someone just like finds a place, goes, and then we have the school. So I don't have a park card, so I kind of keep going back and forth between the park and the school. So it could be both. This school tends to have a cross on the top. It could be a religious school or something like that, but it could be any type of school. But I keep hearing kids playing, so it seems to be significant in some way, shape, or form. And then we have the fire card for the 100th time. Every time I pull that, I get this card. Never fails. Every single time. Inside. So he's inside something, or it happened inside, but he's inside something. Burial. Okay. Underground. So he is buried underground, but still in water because it's like it didn't have water at that time, but then the water rose. If that makes sense. And then the boat. I keep hearing the boat. It's very close. I take the boat card, and I didn't get the beach card this time, but the beach is right. I mean, the bay, the beach. The boat card is like an area where there would be boats, and I keep hearing boat horns, so that makes sense. That keeps coming in over and over and over. We have the neighborhood card, so it did happen in a neighborhood, but this could be like right outside a neighborhood because in my visions there was still kind of like houses and stuff around, but yet it was still like remote, if that makes sense. Then we have the river card. Okay, so close to the river. I feel he's very close to the river. And I think he's got Aquarius in his chart, which kind of, from what I understand, it does rule fast moving water. Okay. We have hollow earth. This came in the last reading. So however we take the hollow earth, I'm gonna look. I really don't know what hollow earth is. Every time I look it up, it says just the earth is hollow, but this comes across as like a cave or a cavern or something like that. Or, it could also mean like underground, I guess, because that's basically everything that, I don't really know what the hollow earth is. If you guys can explain that to me, please do. And then we have bones. So unfortunately, the fire and the bones always come in together. I hate to say that. And power supply again. So there is, and power supply usually runs along the road. So I feel like there's the power supply running along that road right there, and then underwater, because he probably is underwater right now, depending on how much water you guys have. So when the water goes down, he's more likely to be found. That's the way it's coming across, and they probably knew this. Like, that's why I said it feels really wet and damp and stuff. And it's almost like woods and marsh together. But I did notice that the marsh out there does have trees in them. But the tree that I saw that was burnt was like the like didn't have any leaves on it or anything, like it was a dead tree. So I don't really know if it was symbolic or if it was like saying there's a fire in this area or random fire, or if it has to do with him. It could be symbolic. Okay. So then we have public building. So he could be not far from a public building, but also I'm kind of wondering, like, it kind of makes me think of the storage. And then I get the dumped card. So he was just unfortunately dumped. It feels like it was really fast too. Like, go out there, do this real quick and go back. And it would be an area they know. Also, the moon rules the mother, so an area she knows, but sorry. It goes along with the fire and the bones that I pull every single one and me getting hot. Sorry. I don't even want to think about it. See, and then we get like above ground. Because sometimes maybe depending, sometimes when the water goes down, it takes some of the mud with it, so maybe he eventually will rise. Maybe they didn't think about that. Maybe they thought he'd be underwater, but maybe there might be, a time where the water goes way down, or then we have this card, sorry, again. But I'm getting, bones, and I'm still getting a place where a body is, so I don't think it would be ash, so to speak. And I don't know if, like, he would have, like, he could get into a cemetery, who knows? Like I said, he's gang, he doesn't, allegedly gang affiliated, so, what they do, the things that they do, and we look at Harmony Montgomery case, and we look at Gannon's case, and we look at all those cases of, you never know, people do things, all sorts of things, and I hope I'm wrong, but, wooded area, so wooded area is so important. Sorry about my birds, it's the middle of the day. This card comes in every single time. Sorry, it does. I pull it every single time. And then we have the stored card. So again, I felt like he was stored for a certain point in time. It also takes me back to the freaking storage. There's something about that storage. They need to search the storage. If it's not the storage that we know about, it's got to be a different one. They need to search the storage and the area around the storage. I get this stored card every single time. Got storage in the reading. Just saying. Okay. Oh, my ball's going off. Look at that. Look at that. Holy crap. Validation, guys. I know it's the middle of the day. You can't see it, but pay attention to it right here. And that's me noticing it. It might have went off before that. Okay, that's validation. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Oh. Thank you, Spirit. We have school again. Okay, school seems to be important. I can hear kids screaming. I'm telling you. All right. Ball's still going off. It's going wild here with the stored. All right. The thing is I wondered if he was in the storage shed at some point, or if he is. The thing is I keep getting that rise and fall of water, and I feel like I'm in a marshy stuff area, so I don't know. I don't know if it's like, it's still going off. Holy crap. There's no dogs there. Nope. Look at that. It's major. I've been waiting for that to go off for this reading. I have been waiting for that, and it's still going. Can you guys see it? Okay. Work. So it's going off still. The work card is, so I know that he did like power washing and stuff. I don't know if he stored any of his work stuff. I'm still watching it. Stored any of his work stuff at the storage, or if it's just an area he like works at. I'm not sure. I wondered if he like power washed like gravestones. That's an idea. That's just a random thought. Look at, it's going off again. Holy crap, man. And it's so still. There's nothing going on around here. So sometimes if you yell really loud, or you like you move, the dogs bark, it'll go off. But I don't think there's anything making it go off. It's going wild. Sometimes it'll do this, especially in readings. It'll just go off, and it will go off, and I'll video record it for my clients. But this is a lot. I think this is the most ever, and it's literally so still. So we have proper burial. So again, in water. So again, with the rising and falling, it's like almost like sometimes he's out of water, sometimes he's in water, depending on, and there it goes again, depending on the up and down of that water. Public area. So that again takes me to the storage shed. It takes me to maybe an area behind like a more public area. It's not an area that like it's a random area, but there it is again. Like it's a random area, like off a road somewhere, not necessarily inland, but maybe close, or just a marshy area that's random off the road, that might be near the storage shed, that might be kind of close to the house, like that kind of comes in. But I keep getting a reference to the cemetery too. And look at that thing. It's validating for us major. So I would pay attention to every single ball that went off, or how the ball went off, and how much it validated what it validated right there. Thank you, Spirit, so much for validating this. I've been waiting for this to go off for his reading. Amazing, especially since the middle of the day. So usually it's a little more active later in the day, but that's pretty freaking amazing. So that's what I have for you. Those are my thoughts and cards on this. I hope that it's helpful. There's also a reference to, he might be in something, some sort of bag, or I keep kind of going back to the Harmony Montgomery case, how they think like she's in a bag. In the area might be similar, like there might be a And they might be bringing that up to like reference similarities in that case. So, unfortunately, and that might be why it keeps coming to mind, and they're bringing it up again. Like they're showing me the bag that Harmony was supposed to be in. It's kind of like I'm getting maybe something like that too. So I don't. The burning is really got me. The fire, because again, I pull the fire card every single time, the bone cards every single time. We've got it multiple times in these cards, and then I felt really hot, and I get the burning of the trees. So there's something significant with fire, I hate to say, and then I go back to the Harmony of Montgomery case. So there's some similarities maybe in where it may be. I hope that he'll be found. I mean, I kind of got the reference to April, or when maybe it dries up a little bit more. Everything has timing, so no matter how hard we want to find them and how much we want to find people, everything has timing to it. They'll be found when and if and how they're meant to be found. I've seen several cases where places have been searched, and I explain to people, well, you need to go back. They were missed, and they go back and they're missed. That's been 2 cases recently where they told me it was searched completely, and I said, well, I don't know what to tell you. You need to go the opposite direction of the way that you went and go search that area. And then when it finally was, or somebody found evidence or something, they ended up searching back that area again, and they were found. So apparently the area was completely searched, but they were still found in that area, and that's happened a few times. And I've even seen it on psychic detectives where the psychic will literally send somebody to a spot. The dogs, everybody missed it, and then months later they'll be sent back to that spot and find the body. So it has to do with timing, and if someone's meant to be found, they'll be found how they're meant to be found. If a psychic's meant to do it, it'll happen. If a worker's meant to find them, it'll happen. If a group of people, if police, I kind of think that police will. I don't know if there's going to be a deal made. I don't really know, because I kind of like see police standing around like pointing at an area. It could be called from a tip or whatnot, but I feel like the searchers have been close, but maybe, I noticed that like people were saying Woodland wasn't really searched. I think we need to be searching by roads for sure, specifically around crossroads and any of the areas that I was describing. But road seems significant. So it's almost like I feel like searchers were by him, but maybe they couldn't see him if he was underwater at that point, or he's not visible. So it's going to be really tough. And if he's meant to be found, he'll be found. Either he gives location or somebody runs across it. But I do see police standing around, pointing into an area, kind of like they do. You have the corner. I see the corner vision of that. So there must be something that's still yet to be recovered. But they're showing me that. So it tells me that at some point he's going to be found. I feel like April or the end of March. Springtime seems significant when it dries up a little bit more. So like that kind of seems a little significant. Like maybe when it dries up a little bit more. But I don't know. Again, those are areas that I would check. Any place that he was known to go or store things or work. I know he had his own business, but it could be past work as well, like a place that he used to work at that he may know, a place she used to work at that she may know. That could tie the work card in, or a place that they work the most in, or they know the most, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I hope that this was helpful. It was visions, reading cards. You got some validation on the ball. So thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing. Share this around. It's important. Like I said, he'll be found when and if he's meant to be found, but still, it doesn't hurt to look. I still drive myself crazy trying to find people. And this one hits me hard. It reminds me a lot of Quentin. If you guys don't know, we're around during that time. Quentin was really important to me. He made me buy this little dinosaur thing that's up here, or dragon. He was running up and down my hallway. The cat was over here bugging me when I was at the landfill on the map. I had his location the first reading. So actually, I had him before he was born, 3 years before. So if you guys haven't checked that out, that did happen. And this reminds me very much of that. And in Auto Right 10, I did talk about a kid going missing that was very similar to Quentin. It doesn't necessarily mean the same area. I'm not getting landfill at all. So I'm just not. With Quentin, I got the trash truck. I kept going back to the landfill no matter where I went, and dumpsters and stuff. And this, I'm not getting that. You guys know what I'm getting. So I I try to help as much as I can. I try to give you as much as I can, and I'll get what I'm supposed to get in the timing I'm supposed to get it. So, um, you know, my son's name is Elijah, and my heart goes out to the family. I've been in touch, and my thoughts and prayers are with you. I can't imagine going through this. It's a tough situation. It's so hard, and he's such a sweet boy. So thank you guys, everybody. I appreciate you so much, and I'm gonna get off here before I get emotional. See you next time.